What's up, everybody? Stick around. We're going to be taking a look at the Mini Flight Sport throwing knives from Cold Steel. Thank you so much for tuning in, and welcome to 411 Outdoors. My name is Daniel Irvin, and this channel is devoted to everything outdoors. I love everything from weapons, survival, reviews, tutorials, and all the rest. If you find this information helpful or resourceful in any way, I would be super excited to have you as a subscriber. Just don't forget to click the bell so that you can get your notifications. Now let's get going. I absolutely love knife throwing. Out of all of the things that I like to get outdoors and do, knife throwing is probably at the top of the list. I enjoy shooting slingshots. I enjoy using a shepherd sling. I love hatchets and throwing tomahawks and archery and getting out and shooting pistols whenever I can. Knife throwing is my favorite. I have spent probably more time throwing knives than I have any of those other things. I love it. It's something I love doing. It seems to be a never-ending challenge for me. I love the tactical element of knife throwing. I like to challenge myself in different ways, but ever since I started throwing knives, I've been using the Smith & Wesson throwing knives. I love them. I will continue to use them. I think they're a great throwing knife. I did a review on those a while back. That's just what I've been using since the very beginning, and they've always worked well for me. As of late, I've been drawn to some of the throwing knives on the Cold Steel product line, and the one that has drawn my attention the most is the Mini Flight Sport throwing knives. Now, they make three sizes of this kind of throwing knife. This is the Mini Flight, which is a 10-inch knife that weighs about 6 ounces and made from 1055 carbon steel. Now, they've got one that is 12 inches and they've got one that's 14 inches as well. This is what I'm usually throwing. This is an 8-inch Smith & Wesson knife. It's got a good weight to it. I love this knife. But this is the Mini Flight Sport, just to kind of give you a visual here. This is an 8-inch knife. This is a 10-inch knife. This has got a little bit more weight to it. Obviously, it's bigger. Like I said, they make bigger versions. They make a 12-inch and a 14-inch, and obviously the weight goes up. Some people like a really big throwing knife. I'm just not that guy. To me, this is probably the perfect size, even though I'm, well accustomed to using this 8-inch. This 10-inch knife for me is as big as I would want to go. Over the last few days, I've put these knives through the ringer, and of course the paint is knocked off the end from where I've been throwing it. They do come with a very sharp tip, and the sides of this blade are also pretty sharp as well. I want to put this in the camera so you can see this. This edge is pretty sharp here, which makes this thing very aerodynamic and gives you the ability to really have a nice penetration when you throw this. I want to compare it to the Smith & Wesson, which really doesn't have a sharp edge there. The point is always pretty decent, but you can see the difference between these two knives. You can see the sharpness there between the difference. I want to show you that. These knives come with an incredibly sharp tip point. This is the tips of my blades over the last few days. You're going to wear down the tips if you're throwing them, but all in all, they hold up really well, and these knives stick really well. You can pay all kind of prices out there to get a good throwing knife, and the sky is the limit as far as throwing knives. There's so many different kinds, and there's some that you can pay a lot of money on. I just believe you can have a great throwing knife for an inexpensive price, and these knives fall into that category of being great and inexpensive. You can get these knives for about $8 a piece on Amazon. I mean, that's $24 for a set of the Mini Flight Sport knives, and you're not going to pay that much more to up in size if you want the 12 or the 14-inch ones. Another perk of my Cold Steel blades over my Smith & Wesson is the Smith & Wesson blades, they get chipped. Sometimes this knife can leave little metal shards in my hand, and that's one of the reasons why I've got the end of this taped up, is because this handle has gotten chipped, and it can leave little metal shards. I haven't been getting metal shards in my hands using the Cold Steel blade. These things hit hard and heavy. Let's do a little half spin throwing. How about some no spin? Thanks so much for watching, my friend. I hope you have found this information useful. These are awesome throwing knives. They're inexpensive and I highly recommend them. Take care.